Hey there, Ryan JB, and in today's episode we're going to make another beautiful building for this neighborhood, and I have a nice fun project in mind. Now, since we already made a building with an interior into the last episode, this building will not have an interior, but I do have a fun idea for the roof. Now this time, instead of making a pointy roof with tiles, I would like to make a flat roof, and on this flat roof it's basically a place to chill out. But we're not going to see the roof from the ground, even though I do have an idea how I can add a couple of details to make it look like it's a chilling out place. We will see the roof once we're going to make the building that is going to be on the opposite side over there, which will have an interior where we can also go to different levels, and then from the different levels, if you look out onto the window or balcony even, you can clearly see what happens, or you know, what stands on the roof. It's not going to be too detailed, but I figured out I want to just do something different. Now the thing that we're also going to figure out is actually the color of the building, because I think having a red building near an orange building might create a little bit too much of a shade or too much of the same. So instead of red, I think I would like to create a certain green building, and or I figured out I don't want to make the roof higher. Actually, I want to make it lower. Now these buildings are like multiple floors, and I think I want to have the roof of this building slash is right around on, you know, this line. I'm just going to figure out the height of it. But let's see color wise. In the first episode I said let's add some green, but this is not really green, so in this case let's modify this for a little bit, and I'm just gonna lower this right around here. That's gonna be the idea. And I think for now I just want to make it like a perfect square, and then, you know, have something different on that side, and we will figure it out later on. First we're going to have a greenish color. Maybe something like this will work. Yeah, I guess that will do. Alright, it might not seem a lot, but I got some stuff to explain to you about this build right down here, and that is that basically you can walk in here and then there is a shop. Now I've been saying I'm not going to build a whole interior, we're going to make a building without interior, but I want to make a semi-interior, if that makes any sense. Basically the idea here is, I guess, something kind of like this. So we will put glass in there, and then behind it I want to store some product and just fake, you know, a bit like, I guess, North Korea. They just do the same thing. They just, you know, make it look like a store. There is some stuff behind the window, but if you go into the building it's just empty. Or at least if I may believe the people that have figured it out. Now it is kind of funny though, because that building, what I'm building right now, has the idea that originally is actually in this building, which the whole, you know, the walk-in type of deal supposed to be right around here, which you basically have a shop. Now I don't just want to make like a tiny little shop. I think I would also like to have an ATM in here, because, you know, this vacation type of place has a lot of stuff and things to do, but just like everything in life, it will cost money. So I think I want to make like an ATM right down here in the corner, which will be accessible via this door. Well, at least, you know, for the folks that need to refill the ATM from behind. Now this door down here will basically be the door that leads up to living quarters up there, and or in the end to the roof. Now, I'm not going to make an interior for that though. You know, I'll be honest, meanwhile I was building this, I got a little, you know, not so sure about this whole thing, but when I hang up the name of the store, I was actually like, you know, that kind of fits in, and I am happy. This is a clothing store named Ylands. Yes, I'm very bad at naming, and this is what I mean with a semi-interior, just some stuffed display. I just gave it some happy, nice colors. We got some of this, and then on this side we have that, more of a special clothing, you know, jackets and shoes and whatever not. I'm very happy with that, and some of you already seen on Discord that I'm actually making the ATM like this, and I'm very happy the way how the details turn out. And this is the nicest thing about doing this. Once again, in the editor you can just use glow in order to light up certain things. to make it just a slightly bit different from the normal adventure, if you would. Yeah, you know, I'm happy with this. I like it. And oh, before I forget, the reason why I placed the ATM right here into the wall and not right there is because I thought, you know, having this door to access the ATM from behind to do maintenance or adding more money is a little bit ridiculous, because the number of space the ATM will get behind there is a bit too much. So I think this will work for the best, which also means that the store has a lot more space, something like that. Alright, it is a new day for me, and I got some stuff to show you guys, because look at this. I am very freaking happy with that. I thought, you know, we need to have some flowers and plants overhanging already. Of course, there will be a lot more down in the street, so it's gonna be very cozy. And yeah, I think let's just remove those things because they do not belong here. Anyways, as I was trying to say, I really think this fits in perfectly. I've also added some more decoration stuff here and there with, you know, I just added that thing above the door, a bench and some kind of a poster picture, whatever you want to call it, over there. The same goes over there. A little window up there because, well, we cannot see a lot just yet, but once the building is here, we have a bit of a reason to, you know, see some stuff up there. But, you know, you might be able to see a book and a bench and a teacup and, you know, some random crate. I need to keep the details a little bit low also because, you know, it's just 1 or 2 times that we're going to see the roof and that's it. What is going to be important, however, which is one of the ideas I have, is that from this point we can actually see that there is some more stuff on the roof, which is the next thing I would like to create. And so on and so forth. It is now all completely done. I'm super happy with it. This is the vision that I had in mind for the top of the roof. And this is how it looks from the other side too. Yeah, this adds in a lot of green. Not only just the building, but also what's on there. And on the roof itself, I just, you know, like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple as it is. I don't want to have it like blank and stuff. Just something up there. I mean, it's a ginormous roof, you know, what else am I going to put down here? And keep in mind, we only have a view onto this, maybe 1, twice, maybe a little more. It depends on what I'm going to build here, which is going to be actually pretty freaking awesome, so we might visit it more. Now, there is one thing that is kind of missing on these houses, though. I know what it is. I forgot it actually, but if you know what it is, then let me know down below in the comment section. But holy moly, I cannot wait until the building in the back is being done, because then basically this street, if it's about building view, it is finished. Then the only thing, of course, needs to be done is all kinds of little details, but we're also going to need to build some more buildings. But it's coming together, and yeah, this is what I want. I am happy with it. So, in the next episode, we're going to do something pretty big though, with an interior, exterior, and all kinds of stuff on top of that. Literally on top of that. But you will have to find out more in the next episode. Alright, I guess one thing I can already start spoiling is that the way how the building looks is going to be a slightly bit different, because I'm going to need to do something like this down here. And then something like this down here, and then what will happen here is going to be a surprise, because holy moly.